In the heart of Indonesia's remote Sunda Islands lies a forgotten realm, an island shrouded in mist, heat, and primal instinct. Here, time flows differently. Evolution has sculpted killers from stone and scale. This is Komodo Island, a raw landscape carved by volcanic fury and ruled by nature's harshest law. Survive or be swallowed. The jungle trembles beneath silence, but it hides a truth: this is not a sanctuary. It's an arena, one where giants roam, and every footstep carries weight. The wind carries the stench of decay. A signal to all who hunt that death has returned to the soil. At the center of this feral dominion lives a titan of old, the Komodo Dragon, nature's war machine, a predator unchanged since prehistory. It hunts not from stealth, but from strength. Its power woven into every sinew, every claw, every bloodstained tooth. To outsiders, this island is a prison, but to the dragon, it is a throne. It walks without fear, because none dare to challenge it until now. As the heat shimmers off the broken ground and vultures circle the sky, a new scent drifts on the breeze. Something foreign, something bold. The king's rule is about to be tested. From the sun-baked ridge, a shadow emerges, slow, deliberate, immense. It's the island's sovereign, a male Komodo dragon stretching nearly 3 meters in length. Each step is a thud of ancient muscle. His massive claws rake the dust as he approaches the source of the scent, a half-decayed carcass lying beneath the twisted trees. Flies swarm it, but they scatter as he draws near. His tongue flicks, tasting the air, mapping the trail of death with a language only he can read. Then he strikes not with hesitation, but hunger sharpened by dominance. His jaws clamp down with devastating force, ripping tendons like threads, snapping bone with ease. Flesh tears, and the forest floor shudders beneath his weight. Every violent shake of his prey sends vibrations through the soil, as if the island itself responds to his presence. Scavengers cower in the underbrush. None dare approach, not now, not with the king of the feast. His skin, armored in rough pebbled scales, glistens under the harsh sun, his tail swaying like a weapon behind him. The jungle is silent, respectful. He has no rivals here, none bold enough to face his fury. But as the blood pools and bones crack, a ripple disturbs the edge of the tree line. Something watches, something that doesn't belong. From the shadows of the tangled undergrowth, a sleek form glides forward, silent, sinuous, and calculating. It is the King Cobra, an apex predator from another realm, drawn across the narrow strait by the intoxicating scent of death. It slithers with eerie precision, its body flowing like liquid over roots and rocks, scales catching glimmers of light that ripple across its hooded frame. Though foreign to this land, it moves without hesitation. This isn't exploration, it's intrusion, but not of fear, of claim. The cobra pauses at the jungle's edge, tongue flicking rapidly, reading the scent of decay, dominance, and dragon. Before it, in the clearing, the Komodo feasts, unaware or perhaps unconcerned by what stalks near. Two predators now share a single meal. One a monarch of brute strength, the other a phantom of venom and cunning. The cobra rises slightly, its hood widening, body coiled beneath like a trap sprung too tightly. It knows this confrontation is inevitable. On most days, it reigns unopposed among the snakes, feared even by humans. But here, on this island of beasts, it is a challenger in a foreign court. Yet, it does not hesitate. The forest exhales as their worlds collide, two sovereigns meeting at the edge of fate. Two kings now face the same prize, but only one can feast. The clearing becomes an arena, the silence thick with tension. These are no ordinary animals. They are empires in motion, forged by millennia of evolution for a single purpose: to kill. The Komodo Dragon, a living tank sculpted from muscle and bone, is nature's battering ram, unyielding, unafraid. It kills with power and patience, relying on sheer force and infectious venom to break its victims. Across from him, the King Cobra is a different creed: agility and strategy over armor and mass. Its strength is not in weight, but in speed, reflex, and precision. Its venom is not just deadly, it's surgical, targeting nerves and shutting down life from within. One is a brute relic of the past, the other, a modern chemical assassin. They are more than animals, they are ideologies. Strength versus speed, durability versus intelligence, bacteria versus neurotoxins. And now, these two philosophies of
Strength
destruction
versus
find
speed.
themselves aimed at one another.
Durability
The rules
versus
are simple.
intelligence.
No allies,
Bacteria
no retreat,
versus
no mercy.
neurotoxin.
Only one predator can walk away. The feast becomes secondary. What lies before them is something far more sacred: dominance. This is no longer about hunger, it's about legacy. The Komodo Dragon stands like a relic of another age, an armored fortress stitched from ancient flesh. Its skin is no mere hide but natural chainmail, layered with bony plates called osteoderms that shield it from fangs and claws alike. Evolution built this beast for brutality. Its claws are thick and curved, designed to rend meat from bone. Its tail, a muscular whip, can topple goats with a single blow. But hidden behind its prehistoric maw lies a darker secret. The dragon's mouth is a biological nightmare riddled with over 50 strains of bacteria, each capable of turning a minor wound into a festering grave. Yet that's only half the horror. Recent science has revealed that Komodo dragons also possess venom glands, delivering a toxin that prevents blood clotting and induces shock, hastening death from within. A single bite isn't just an injury, it's a slow and certain sentence. This monster doesn't chase. It waits, wounds, watches, and follows the scent of death. It has no need for elegance or stealth. Its sheer presence reshapes the battlefield. And now, it fixes its gaze upon the interloper. Its eyes, cold and ancient, lock onto the serpent's silhouette. The message is clear: this island is mine. You bleed here, or you leave. But the King Cobra is not impressed by size or scars. It does not rely on muscle or brute force. It is a creature of precision, honed by millions of years to be a living scalpel. Its body, long and fluid, is built to weave through chaos, not endure it. Its hood flares wide in warning, not as a bluff, but as a calculated strategy to appear larger, more commanding. Every movement is efficient. Every flick of the tongue gathers chemical cues from the air, feeding a brain more advanced than any other reptiles. This snake doesn't just strike, it analyzes, calculating angle, distance, and weakness. Its weapon? A masterwork of molecular engineering. Each fang delivers a dose of neurotoxin potent enough to shut down the central nervous system in minutes. One bite is all it needs, just one to send signals crashing. Muscles paralyzed, lungs frozen. Death comes quietly, without blood, without struggle. Unlike the dragon, the cobra doesn't need to chase. It needs only opportunity. And it sees the dragon for what it is, not a monster, but a puzzle. The cobra's eyes remain fixed on the gaps in the Komodo's armor. It studies, it learns. Because to defeat a fortress, one must first find its cracks. The clearing grows still, as if the island itself is holding its breath. Across from each other, the two apex predators lock eyes, one armored and unblinking, the other swaying with measured grace. The King Cobra rises, lifting a third of its body off the ground, its hood flared to full span like a banner of war. It sways slowly, hypnotically, reading the air with its tongue, searching for hesitation, for weakness. The Komodo Dragon does not flinch. It stands rooted, grounded in its confidence, a statue of menace carved from muscle and skin. A low growl rumbles from its throat, not in fear, but in challenge. The air between them grows dense with tension. This is not a clash of noise and fury, it is a war of silence, of stillness. Each waits for the other to break rhythm. The cobra's body coils tighter, poised like a loaded spring. The dragon's tail twitches, claws sinking into the dirt for traction. Neither wants to make the first mistake. Because here, a single error is fatal. No backup, no escape. Only instinct, honed by generations of survival. Around them, even the wind seems to pause. And then, with no warning movement, the cobra launches. The cobra strikes like a bolt of liquid lightning, no hiss, no hesitation. Its target isn't the armored flanks or iron-plated back, but the dragon's legs, fleshier, less protected. Fangs flash, landing a quick jab near the knee. But the angle is shallow, the scale's too thick. Venom delivery is uncertain. The Komodo reacts instantly, not with pain, but fury. It roars a guttural, rumbling sound that shakes loose leaves from nearby branches. Then it charges. The earth trembles beneath its lumbering weight. Though not swift, each step lands like a hammer, closing the distance with brutal intent. The cobra retreats, not fleeing, but maneuvering, guiding the predator into disadvantage. It coils, it stretches, always just out of reach. The Komodo snaps its jaws mid, clamping down on a stone, pulverizing it into gravel. One hit, and the snake would be reduced to nothing. The Cobra knows it. This is a death dance now, precision versus power, strategy versus strength. Dust clouds rise around them as the dragon lunges again, mouth wide, eyes locked. But the Cobra ducks, twists, slides beneath its belly, and escapes the arc of another crushing strike. Its movements are surgical, survival etched into every bend of its body. The battle shifts into a deadly rhythm strike. Dodge, bait, retreat. The Cobra begins to orchestrate the chaos, exploiting the dragon's momentum, luring it into wide, sweeping charges that waste its energy. The Komodo grunts, jaws snapping through empty air, rage mounting. Each miss gouges earth, sends dust spinning, but the Cobra never stays still long enough to be caught. It weaves a pattern, curling into deceptive shapes, drawing the dragon's focus away from its vulnerable flank. Then, the opening comes. The Komodo lunges too far, exposed just beneath the thick jawline where the scales thin. In that fleeting moment, the Cobra pivots with blinding speed, launching upward, its fangs sinking deep into the dragon's neck. Not a graze this time, a full bite. The Cobra clamps down, injecting a flood of neurotoxin into the dragon's bloodstream. Seconds feel eternal. The dragon thrashes, flinging the snake violently across the clearing. But the venom has already begun its silent work. As the Cobra hits the ground, dazed but intact, the Komodo staggers briefly, eyes flashing. Yet in its final moment of rage, the dragon lashes back, its jaws snapping shut on the Cobra's tail, tearing flesh and delivering its own bacterial curse. The clearing falls into a heavy stillness, disturbed only by the sound of labored breathing and shifting dust. The Cobra, wounded, coils itself protectively, its tail torn and bleeding, pain radiating from the deep Komodo bite. But its eyes remain locked on the dragon, whose movements are beginning to falter. The venom is spreading. At first, it's subtle, a tremble in the highlight, a delay in reaction. Then, the collapse. The Komodo tries to stand, but its muscles betray it. Its breath grows shallow, pupils dilated, limbs stiffening. The neurotoxin races through its body, shutting down nerves, silencing signals. This titan of the island, this living relic of a violent world, begins to bow not to force, but to chemistry. The Cobra watches, breathing shallow, its own pain mounting. It does not advance, does not strike again. It knows. The battle is over. The Komodo's head lowers to the earth, its massive body slowly giving into paralysis. No more roars, no more charge, just stillness. The king of the island has fallen not in a blaze of fury, but in the silent grip of a venom it never evolved to resist. The Cobra, battered but upright, remains the last creature moving. Victory hangs heavy in the air, but the Cobra does not rebel. It approaches slowly, weaving past the carcass it never touched, toward the fallen giant. The Komodo Dragon lies still, its prehistoric frame now a silent ruin on the forest floor. The Cobra lifts its head, studying the collapsed king, sensing no threat but also no triumph. It has won the battle for dominance, yet something within feels unsettled. The wound on its tail throbs, a reminder that even a dying enemy can leave a mark. That final bite had been more than pain, it was a seed. Within that torn flesh now flows a mixture of venom and millions of bacteria that fester inside every Komodo's mouth. The Cobra pauses, its tongue flicking erratically. Something's wrong. Its vision blurs slightly. The blood running through its veins begins to change. There's no scream, no gasp, only a slither backward, instinct guiding it away from the battlefield it no longer wants. It doesn't eat. It doesn't claim the corpse. It simply turns, wounded and wary. It had crossed a strait, challenged a giant, delivered the perfect strike and survived. But the jungle is never finished. In this kingdom, survival is not proof of strength. It's just a temporary reprieve. Hours pass. The sun sinks lower, casting long, broken shadows across the battlefield. The King Cobra slithers with effort, its movement sluggish, its breath uneven. It searches the forest for a hiding place, a hollow trunk, a shaded patch of leaf cover, anywhere to escape the burning fire in its blood. Septic shock has begun. The Komodo's bite, though brief, has delivered a microscopic armor. Bacteria multiplying, toxins flood the Cobra's system. The bleeding from its tail doesn't stop. Clotting forms. The The serpent hisses softly, not at an enemy, but at fate. Nature has dealt its hand, and now the king of snakes feels the price of victory coil tighter around its heart. The forest doesn't mourn. It watches in silence as the cobra slows, lowers its body, and curls inward. There is no glory here, no feast, no final lure. Just two champions who gave everything for dominance and left the field broken. The jungle reclaims what's left. Insects return. The breeze lifts the stench of death toward the canopy. Both predators had fought with every gift nature had bestowed. But the crown neither could keep now sinks into the soil. In this kingdom, even the victors are claimed. The cobra's breathing shallows as it finds shelter beneath a twisted root, the forest canopy above flickering with dying sunlight. Its body, once fluid and strong, now trembles with fever. The bite wound festers an open invitation to infection. The venom it delivered hours ago has done its job, but the dragon's legacy lingers in every cell of its own blood. It curls tightly, instinctively trying to conserve energy, to hold off the inevitable. But nature doesn't barter. There is no antidote in the wild, no second chances. The jungle begins to hum again, crickets, birds, distant rustles, as if indifferent to the downfall of two kings. The carcass of the Komodo lies undisturbed in the clearing, untouched by its conqueror, now just another offering to the cycle. The cobra doesn't move. It stares into the shadows, not in fear, but in resignation. It knew this battle would cost something. Perhaps it hoped the price would be pain, not time. But here, on this island shaped by teeth and hunger, not even triumph guarantees tomorrow. It had come as a challenger and leaves as a ghost. No song will be sung, no monument will be raised. The forest forgets fast. The sun has vanished beyond the hills, and the forest breathes again. Life resumes as if nothing happened. Cicadas sing, leaves rustle, and scavengers emerge to sniff the burning scent of blood. But in the soil lie two bodies, one already still, the other barely clinging to motion. The King Cobra does not rise. The Komodo Dragon does not return. Their duel, brief and brutal, is now memory etched into dust. There are no witnesses to mark this moment in legend, no celebration for the victor, because in nature, thrones are temporary and crowns invisible. Every apex predator believes it is eternal until it's not. Today, the dragon's fortress fell not to fang or force, but to chemistry, and the cobra's elegance met a poison no antivenom could touch. The microbial death woven into its opponent's teeth. Here, in this arena without rules, nature did what it always does. It reset the scale. No glory, no justice, just balance. The jungle remains indifferent, recycling kings and killers alike. Bones feed the roots, bacteria birth new predators. And the crown, if it ever existed, lies buried unworn, unclaimed. In this land, no throne is ever truly secure. The final verdict comes not with thunder or blood, but with stillness. Two rulers met beneath the jungle canopy, and both paid the price for power. Their clash was not merely a fight, it was a collision of worlds, of strategies, of ancient truths honed into flesh. One wielded venom like a whisper, the other brute force like a storm. But in the end, both fell to the oldest law. Nothing in nature is invincible. The King Cobra, master of precision, fell victim to the bacteria it never saw. The Komodo, lord of muscle and terror, was undone by a drop of poison too fast for its evolution to answer. There was no feast, no coronation, only silence. And perhaps that is the lesson: the wild does not reward power, only balance. There is no mercy in the jungle, only cause and effect. And while we marvel at these titanic struggles, we are reminded that the wild is not theater. It is law without jury, war without winners. When titans clash, their legacies are written not in monuments but in soil, in silence, in bones. Today, both kings fell, and nature simply moved on.